Hello guys, welcome to a Trading Parrot. I'm gonna give you an update on Ethereum. Ethereum is breaking all records at the moment. We have records of number of shorts, which means that definitely the liquidity pools that we're gonna look at are gonna be pretty red. At the same time, on the weekly, we're putting new highs, and on the monthly, we are reaching resistance. We'll have a look at news on Ethereum as well. We'll look into technical analysis, levels of support that we need to look up for now after having done a pretty overextended move in just a few days. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Who wouldn't like to get $30,000 in rewards? Bybit is offering precisely that if you use my link in the description to open a new account. You can also grab yourself $50 for free. It's just a sign up bonus, a welcoming one. If you start depositing and trading, that's where you can get those 30,000 depending on the size of the deposit and the volume traded. And I will say this is getting extremely interesting for Ethereum. All I hear is the amount of shorts that are or have been shorting all this time Ethereum as we were coming down. Pretty much it's a free fall all this period, and then it has turned in just exactly the opposite. We have already conquered the extension of 1 based on this pullback, and we are getting very close to the extension of golden pocket. At the golden pocket, I will say, is where we're gonna hit the largest liquidity pools. And these are not just big because we've been there once, we've been there three times that we couldn't cross $4,100. So anything that is beyond that level is just accumulations from the 13th of March of 2024, over a year of shorts accumulated, and the higher we are going, the faster we are going, new shorts are coming in play and making that more and more attractive. I have personally sold the area between 3.5 into 3.9k, consistently offloading my Ethereum with the expectation of eventually seeing a decent pullback to rebuy. That is a dangerous move, but I want to make sure that I lock in this time some profits on Ethereum since it's my largest bag. We have reached levels of RSI daily 84, on these highs around here 80, and then we started increasing with this impulsive move. We managed to reach 85.60 and very healthy, because on the daily now we are reaching even higher with an 87. That means that this recent move now into 3.9 is not yet a bearish divergence, and that could mean that we are not just gonna hit new highs, because we can do it with bearish divergences too, but we are doing it still at very strong moves, not deteriorating relative to the move of the past into 3K. This move is still very strong. We have already taken down all the close proximity liquidity levels below 4K, this one at 3.2, the 3K, and we just carry on. And that to me shouts one thing: we are going for over 4.1K. Just be mindful, okay? I think there is a high chance to get there, and that's why I'm still leaving on the table quite a lot of Ethereum. But look how close we are. This is just getting into the $100 to $200 away to start the party from 4.1, and that party I speculate should last at the very least until 4.5. Now, consuming this amount of liquidity doesn't come in a single hit. It can happen, but most of the time it's in chunks, right? First chunk, rejection, consolidation. So don't be surprised if it's not just a one night only stand. Now, if August was more than sideways for Bitcoin, or September, and it was a little bit of a retracement, slightly bigger than expected, then Ethereum could come and revisit some levels of support. So we have now to go into the weekly time frame, and let's see what really matters. You can see how the weekly on Ethereum is really powerful. It's almost as intense resistance as this move from 41 into the highs of 84. That has a spread of around 44.6 on the RSI. So far we have done a spread of 39. We're getting closer to get as magnificent move as that one, and that is the biggest one where we reach in the cycle 84. We have managed to break that revenge rally. The revenge rally should have stopped at 65, but instead of that we have put 1, 2, now will be the third week above the revenge rally, above the lost support. We are at an RSI weekly of around 71. That's another call for continuation. We're getting into the overextended. We have conquered this resistance of 3.3. The volume starts declining in here, and we could enter price exploration if we manage to break the resistance of 4K. That's of course. And after this breakout with this massive green candle of $700, we have already tested the breakout at 3.5. That's something that happened last week, and I managed to rebuy a little bit more of Ethereum that I sold at 3.8. Sweet. If we get some bearish moves on September, August, which is by seasonality something that can happen, of course, ideally we want to see consolidation in this manner with Ethereum, something that just extends for those 2 months but remains about 3.5k. That sends the signal that we are not about to do something of these proportions to the downside, but instead that we're just gonna stay around there. You have in here an example where we held 3k and we went back to hit the ceiling again. So anywhere from 3.5 to 3k, I will say, is still defending the thesis that this area of 4.1 and beyond is gonna fall eventually. The shorts are not gonna manage, in my humble opinion, to go into the bear market with all those pools dumping Ethereum into very low prices and all of them winning at the same time. Longs at the moment have broken out from our area of value, and it still seems like heading into the areas of extreme amounts of longs. If we got into this area of 85 on the longs versus shorts on Ethereum, that's definitely gonna smash all the shorts. In terms of socials, things are still relatively quiet for Ethereum if you compare these highs that we're getting of 14% relative to highs of 80. My expectation is we get into 29. So pretty much we double the social fuzz during this cycle. That is what I'm expecting to see. If on the weekly we were to do a retest, the most bullish will be around the 60s. We do not want to do, after having done this God candle in here, to reverse everything into the support of 50. I will prefer to stay at the 60s at this time, just judging by this achievement. Also because if you calculate coming down now into 50, that's pretty much a free fall. Let's say we go into 49 RSI on the weekly. Let me show you where that is in the price. A 49 will take you back down into 2.7k. That is a little bit too much. And also, I don't want to lose this white line ever again, or at least not for as long as still I'm holding along. Because we did here a massive recovery back above all the lines. So coming here into 3.2, 3.3, kind of in the middle lane in there where the volume is still considered like a healthy pullback if you want. The most bullish one is to defend 3.5. Of course, that is my preference, but we have already done that. So if we get a pullback into 3.3, 3.4, that's fine. Ready for October, November to hit strong into all the top area. This is just in case we get that September. Don't take for granted that. If we carry on straight away into the top, well, fair enough. Looking at Ethereum, we got 2 signals that are in the red. The rest of them are all in the neutral. We got futures bubble map is hitting, and we got the spot taker CBD, the cumulative volume delta of the last 90 days, getting into taker sell dominant. There is a lot of spot selling. This could be again rotation into ETFs. That's one option, but I want to see the chart of the futures bubble map and let's see how it's been looking in the past. So this time that we sold off in here in December 2024, we were in that area. The size was 75, in here is 52, in here it was 43. So yeah, that's getting overheated. If we get that correction in September, it will be probably thanks to this narrative. We're gonna look back and we're gonna say, oh wow, that was really heated and we deserve some sort of pullback. In previous cycles, yeah, that was happening all the time and there were pullbacks. So I think I'm already thanking my future self for taking some out of the table with Ethereum and waiting for these things to cool down. Now, if things continue to the upside and we just go straight for over 4 point something and we get into 4.6, there is no way I'm not gonna take the rest of the profits and just call it and see where we get to actually cool down these metrics. In terms of news, we got on Ethereum, SharpLink Gaming buys 77,000 Ethereum, that's $300 million, and hires BlackRock veteran. They took someone from BlackRock and they hired them for SharpLink, which is crazy. That's an 8 out of 10. First US listed firm to add over 400k Ethereum to corporate treasury, staking most of the whole and signaling deep pocket long-term conviction in Ethereum. Ethereum futures open interest hits record of 785 billion amid 16-day ETF inflow streak. CME data shows leverage positioning at an all-time high, while spot ETFs attract 5 billion of net buys, pointing to surging. Definitely Ethereum is making me wow. How come we are getting so many inflows? It was just months ago that no one wanted to touch this crap, and now it seems like it's the big thing. Personally, I don't buy when things go in this way. I just execute my plan just as I thought months ago, so my distribution is ongoing. They can say whatever, that Ethereum is gonna go into 100k. To me, profits are profits. I'm not here to invest, I'm here to take profits. Let's have a look at short-term liquidity, and we got that 2k definitely is very heavy. I will say we should not go that low for a September, because that is really gonna break all the hopes of getting over 4k again. If we look at the 1 month chart on CoinGlass, yeah, the 3.5 is the most bullish pinch that we can do August, September if we get a pullback on Bitcoin. If we get into 3K, we start getting into the gray area. If we go sub 3K, we break all the structures all over again. And then we really need to, pray to all the gods again to bring back this beast. Also, that will be quite weird because we got so many shorts above 4K and allow them all to profit all the way from 3K without taking them down. I think that's not the modus operandi of the market maker. Just my humble opinion. And I say humble because I've been wrong in so many things. Like, I didn't take profits at 4K on Ethereum. I thought, okay, the third time we're gonna get it. Well, I think the fourth time we're gonna get it, but I'm taking a completely different approach this time. We could say much more of a trader approach rather than an investor one. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the Ethereum update. Let me know if I missed anything important about Ethereum. I can mention it in the next video. And which coin would you like a in-depth altcoin to be the next video in this channel? I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.